Bonjour 皆さんこんにちは。世界のすみっこ暮らしです。今日はね、マルチリンガル育児について話しますって言ったんですけど、自分自身のマルチリンガルってどういうイメージだったかっていうと、教育ママ的な人がね、子供にいろいろ言語を習わせてみたいな、日本からね、考えると、そういう人が、イメージ浮かぶんじゃないかなって思うんですけど、だんだんね、ヨーロッパの大学に来たり、インターナショナルでね、いろんな、背景を持った人と出会うようになってから、マルチリンガルって意外といっぱいいるっていうことに気がついたんですよね。なんか、ね、特別な家庭とか特別な教育じゃなくて、普通に、普通の人各国から来た普通の人、が普通に何言語か話せるよっていうのが、意外とあるんだっていうのがね、私の気づきでしたね。特にね、大学に行くと、英語は第一外国語として話せる人が多いですしね。それプラスっていうことですよね。あんまりなんか普通の人って言ったんですけど、マルチリンガルってね、世界全体で見ると実は珍しいものではないのかなと思います。例えば、ヨーロッパだと、第二外国語を学校で学ぶのが普通だったりね。英語はもちろんやるんだけれども、そこから選択で、例えばフランスなら英語が第一。第二言語が、スペイン語、ドイツ語、イタリア語あたりから選べるんじゃないかなと思います。なんか国によってはね、ニュージーランドとか、アメリカとかで、日本語が選択肢にあったっていう人も聞いたことがあります。そんな感じでね、幅広く、学校でもそういう風に習うことができるし、あとは、陸続きなので、隣の国の言語が似てたりして、あとはラテン系の言語でラテン語からの派生の言語だったりすると、なんか語源が同じだから似てる言葉が多かったり、ね、テレビとかラジオで流れてくるのが自然に耳に入ったりして、覚える人も多いんですね。そんな感じでヨーロッパでは多言語は割と普通っていう感じがしますね。さらに、例えばインドとかだと、英語とヒンドゥー語と、その自分が生まれ育った地域の言語を話せる人も結構いますよね。もうそういうふうにね、世界全体を見れば、何カ国語っていうか言語を話せるトリリンガルか、マルチリンガルが、非常に、一般的でも、インドの人口を考えればな、かなり多い人口の人がそういうふうに、多言語を話せるっていうのが普通の、地域もあるっていうことですよね。で、それを見てどう思ったのかっていうと、環境だよねって完全に。日本は島国なので、他の国の言語に触れることがあまりないし、強いてあるとすれば、英語、アメリカの影響があったりして英語だったり、あとは中国関係の漢字とか見るとね、成り立ちが似てるので、読み方わからなくても意味が分かったり、それは言語に触れる機会という意味ではあるのかなと思いますけど、直接的にね、隣の国の人が入ってきて、その言語で話してっていう機会はあまりないですよね、日本は。で、今ね、マルチリンガル育児を今回のテーマにしようかなと思ったんですけど、そのやり方にもね、マルチリンガルの育て方っていうとちょっとなんか、マニュアル的な感じがして嫌なんですけど。でも、いくつかの型があるらしくてね、よく知られているのだと、one person, one language。一人の親、一人の保護者が一つの言語を話して、もう一人いる場合はもう一人が別の言語を話して。で、もう一つは、one place, one language みたいな感じで、場所によって言語を分ける方法。例えば、家庭では日本語を喋るけど、外では現地語。を話すみたいな感じですかね。日本人のご両親がフランスで住んでるのであれば、日本語をうちでは中では話すけれども、学校ひとたび外に出て、日常を送るときは、フランス語で話すっていう感じですね。 でも言語の研究で言われてるのは、一番大事なのは一貫性ですよね。言語の入力が安定して、インプットが安定していることが重要だって言われています。でもね、それはセオリーとしては、理論としてはそうなんだけど、でも例えばインドとかまた例に出しますけど、結構英語とヒンディー混ざって文章になってたりすることもありますよね。もうごっちゃ混ぜにして喋ってる、会話も聞いたことある方いるかもしれないんですけど、アフリカ系の人も結構現地語と英語が混ざりながら話してたりとかもするので、一貫してなくてもそれでも英語と他の言語を話せる人もいるので、これは一応理論っていうことですよね。そういうことでね、我が家は一応ね、one person, one language で、私日本語、パートナーは英語で、外に出たらフランス語。ちょっと混ざってますね。one person, one language とone place, one language がなんか合体型みたいになってますけど、一応ね、one person, one language でやっています。ね、外に出れば完全にフランス語で話すっていう感じですね。ただ、ワンパーソンワンラングエッジなので、外にいても、私が話しかけるときは日本語、パートナーが話しかけるときは英語っていう感じになってます。でもなかなか難しいですね。なぜなら、私とパートナーの共通言語は英語で、私たちが英語で話してるのを聞いてるので、あれ、共通言語は英語なのかなって気づいているとは思います。私たちの子供もね。で、私は英語が、第一外国語なので、外にいるときは、日本語と英語が混ざってしまうときもあります。ね。で、パートナーの場合は、英語とフランス語が、のバイリンガルなので、外にいるときは、どうしてもね、外国人だと思われたくないので、よそ者と思われたくないので、フランス語で話しかけてしまうこともあるようです。ね。混ざってますね。でね、我が子の話をね、今日はしようかなって思ったんですけど、まだね、なんといっても2歳なので、なんていうか、モニタリングが足りないというか、レコーディングが足りないっていうか、まだデータが少ないので、ちょっとね、趣向を変えて、今日はインタビューをしてみようかなって思うんですね。実際ね、マルチリンガル、バイリンガルの、で育ったマルチリンガルに、インタビューをしてみようかなっていうことで、今日はスペシャルゲストを呼んでいます。ここからは、英語になります。So you grew up in a bilingual environment, yes. And did you realize that you were bilingual when you were little?
I guess when you're young, it's not really something I thought about.
No.
Probably it's something you realize maybe a few years later, once you start to realize that you're different to the other kids. Yes.
Yeah. Like, would you say about 6 years old?
Yeah, probably around then, 5 maybe.
Mm-hmm. And just to clarify, I had to start from here. At home, what language did you speak?
English.
Yeah, and once you were outside of the house, what language did you speak?
Probably mostly French.
You spoke other languages too? English with your family, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So even outside of the house, you were speaking in English if you were with your family?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And did you feel confused or you just felt natural?
I think it was quite natural from what I recall.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Do you recall any moment that you felt like language is mixing in your head?
I mean, when I was young, I think sometimes when I couldn't find a word, I would use the French word. I know my mother didn't like it very much that sometimes in a sentence I might use a French word in the middle of the sentence because I couldn't recall the English word.
What did your mum say when you mix languages?
She'd correct me.
In a harsh way or just positively?
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay, somewhere in the middle. But yeah, I can see how she did it because I've seen sometimes even when in your adulthood she still correct, not just you but all your siblings. When you make mistakes. Yeah. Okay. And do you think your parents, not just your mom, but your parents, your father too, were strict on one place, one language rule, or
No,
they're just loose, very loose?
just happened naturally.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
didn't need to enforce it.
no, so definitely not. You weren't told that you have to speak in English right now. You have to speak French right now. No,
No,
not at all. No,
because it was natural to speak English with our parents at home, given they are
English.
native English speakers and we were native English speakers, and natural to speak French at school, given that it was the only way to communicate.
Yeah. But at school, did you feel like you were behind the other kids because of the language barrier, or you started a bit later than the other
I
kids?
can't remember that. I assume maybe the first 2-3 years, maybe I was a little bit behind on language. But once we started, so in France we start school at 2 years old, 3 years old.
2 to 3, yeah.
We have the kindergarten, let's say, and then when school gets a little bit more serious, I would say around 5-6 years old. By then, I had made up any retard, as we say in French, any time behind, any lagging I had.
Yeah. So as a kid, you didn't really feel any pressure or any anxiety, but apparently your parents were a bit worried when you were little.
Really?
That's so I heard.
About my French?
Not the reason, the fact you weren't speaking much at school.
Yes.
Yeah. So your parents were a bit worried, but maybe you have a language problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I was just assimilating everything slowly.
Yeah. So you think some kids probably do have the same experience as a bilingual, multilingual.
Yes, but I think it's not even necessarily a bilingual or unilingual thing. I think some kids are quieter, shyer. It doesn't mean they understand less. It just means they prefer to process things and to be less outspoken. It's not necessarily a bad thing sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. So anything that your parents did had a good effect on you to be able to speak multiple languages, the experiences that your parents given to you?
I mean, first of all, enrolling me in a French school, although we live in the countryside, so I don't think there's any international schools around. But I know a lot of bilingual families might enroll their kids in international schools. However, a lot of the international schools will be bilingual, but I think nothing better than being completely immersed in the local language. And also being involved in activities and clubs.
And moving on to school education, because at school in France, I presume you learn English as a first foreign language, and then one more language maybe, like Spanish, German, or Italian, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
No, go ahead.
Are you talking about primary school?
Not primary school. What do you call it? Secondary.
Okay, yes, because in primary school there's not really a strict curriculum on English. We do a little bit of English, but it's not anything to do with any curriculum.
Yeah.
But from middle school, yes, then we have English and a second language from the 3rd year of middle school comes in.
Okay. In terms of English, it's similar to Japanese education then. The difference is we don't have a second foreign language. So
that's a pity.
I know. But do you think, like, is school secondary language education has a good effect on you? Or for you, it's nothing. It's really not useful for you.
Learning a second language? A second
for
language?
you, it's the first language.
Oh,
so,
my English classes.
Yeah.
It's not so useful, which is why in my first year of middle school I would spend half the classes just reading English books and not attending the classes.
Did your teacher suggest that, or you kind of decided?
I guess the teacher, because they worried I'd be bored. So I had a big book of the history of Arsenal Football Club and I would read that in the room where kids had like an hour to do their homework in free time. It's a free period.
Okay, so it was a really bonus time for you Because Arsenal is your favorite football team.
Yeah.
And anything to do with Arsenal, you'd love to lead up.
Yeah. But it's always funny being in English classes because I couldn't help but laugh at the mistakes the other kids would make, but not in a mean way.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's funny. But then sometimes some kids could get offended, so it's something I had to be careful with.
Yeah, of course. Do you think there are other kids in the class other than you who grew up in the same environment like you?
In that class, no. But I mean...
Not in primary, not in the secondary?
In primary there were some other
okay.
kids of English background, and in middle school there were probably some bilingual kids, I imagine, with other languages than English, probably.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not so common here in
Brittany,
in rural Brittany, which is less cosmopolitan than most of France, I would say.
We mentioned a second foreign language before, but what about second foreign language education at school? Was it useful for you later in life? What did you study?
I studied Spanish.
Uh-huh.
The choice was between Spanish and German, and Spanish is much more popular. Ironically, I ended up going to Germany at university and spent a lot of time in Germany, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But at the time I did Spanish and definitely was very useful. I had the experience to practice my Spanish a lot through international students I met, spending time in South America and in Spain, so I enjoyed a lot learning other languages, and I think being bilingual from a young age helps then to learn other languages.
And when's the first time you went to a Spanish-speaking country?
I mean, with my parents, I would probably started going to Spain when I was quite young, given that my sister was living over there. So, yeah, I probably went when I was 4 or 5 years old. I would go almost every year, maybe at least once every couple of years for sure.
For sure, okay. And when is the first time you went to Spanish-speaking country on your own?
On my own? No, that's a good question. Probably when I went to South America after my second year of university.
Oh, okay.
In France, university finishes really early, like April, so you've got like 4 months to do what you want, really. So you might as well occupy that time. So I did a volunteership in Brazil for 6 weeks, which is obviously not a Spanish-speaking country, Portuguese-speaking, but I also took the opportunity to travel in Argentina a little bit, so that would be the first time, I guess.
Yeah.
And Spanish also helped a lot in Brazil, because obviously there's crossovers between Spanish and Portuguese, and definitely helped me with my understanding there.
And French, Spanish, and Portuguese, I'm assuming they are all connected to Latin origin, yeah?
Yes.
So that also helps for a learner to kind of connect.
Definitely.
Yeah. And do you think it's helped you to obtain third and fourth languages? That the fact you were already bilingual, grew up in bilingual environment.
I believe so.
But how?
I think there's been certain studies done on this, and that the bilingual brain functions slightly differently to unilingual brain. I don't know. Monolingual.
Yeah, monolingual.
If it's developed from a young age, so I think the brain is more susceptible to new vocabulary, I suppose. Not to say that it's an easy task, as you know how I struggle with Japanese, which is not similar to any other language I'd learned before.
And do you feel like after third language it gets easier and easier, you know, if you spoke French? No, it's always the same when you start learning new languages.
I don't think it's
except
easier
for Japanese,
easier.
Because Japanese is quite far from Latin languages.
Some people maybe say that maybe that happens when you get to a more advanced level of being a polyglot, but at my level anyway, I haven't noticed.
No, it
gets easier and easier, but I enjoyed the challenge. I mean, I loved learning German and Spanish and just throwing myself into those languages. Same with Portuguese.
Okay, so... And this is something that probably Japanese listener will be very interested in. How do you study language, really? Not English, you don't study because you grew up in English. French, also school. What about Spanish and German? Did you struggle to learn those languages?
No, I wouldn't say so. But I would say where I improved the most is just speaking with people. However, the bases are really important that you learn in school because tenses and verbs, I think it's really important to have that knowledge. But in terms of vocabulary, I think you just learn by speaking and hearing. And
so you didn't do any self-study, homework at home?
Well, for Spanish, of course, we would have had
Spanish.
some homework, and same in German.
Yeah.
So I took up German in university. So I did a little bit of studying there too, but it was just a
But just to clarify,
course.
for Spanish, how long did you study at school?
5 years.
5 years, yeah. German?
At university, 2 years, but I spent 5 or 6 summers working in Bavaria. And
Yeah, but that's not studying at desk.
No, but I also spent a year living, in my Erasmus living in Düsseldorf in Germany, and a couple of years, maybe even 3 years in Göttingen. But actually studying, just 2 years in German. Yeah. I'd say most of my German I picked up there in the country. Although I also took German lessons with you in Göttingen, and also in Düsseldorf I taken German lessons.
Yeah, that was chill. Yeah. See, but you said there's no difference, but you speak Spanish and German at about similar level? Intermediate?
More or less, yes.
And Spanish, it was 6 years of the time you spent, and German was only 2, yeah? 2 years.
Yes.
About studying at desk.
Yeah, but those aren't the most important, right? If that's the point you're coming on to, maybe.
Yes.
Sorry to...
No, that's why I think it's quite an enlightenment for me. Once I met you, I was surprised how little time you spend writing and doing grammars and memorizing vocabulary from books. Because that's the mainstream method for me to learn a language. And I wasn't getting anywhere with German and French. German, I was all right, maybe because I had some German friends before, but French, I really find it difficult. So, and you always say, go out there and speak, and make mistakes, and that, I think that's something I want Japanese listener to know that we don't have to always study at the desk and feel stressed about not getting anywhere. Yeah. So and one last thing I want to talk about is identity. I think French government says identity. French government even stressed that language is the biggest, one of the biggest part of their culture. And I think before I didn't really think about it because I grew up in monolingual environment, and language is a part of culture. Of course it is, but do you think being bilingual kind of also enriches your identity?
Yes, definitely. I think definitely feel that split between my British side and French side, and being immersed somewhat in both cultures, even though I always lived in France. We watch British TV at home, a lot of British family friends around, so definitely both cultures are a very big part of my upbringing.
Yeah. I make you speak a bit more.
If I can elaborate on that.
No. One thing I found it really interesting first time I met you, because for people like me from a island country, Japan, it's hard to relate, having two different identity, right? I might have asked you stupid question like, so do you feel English or French? Or like, are you English or French? But you said, no, bit of both. And that was a really interesting experience for me because you grew up in bilingual environment that allowed you to be both English and French. And maybe now that you speak Spanish and German, also kind of part of you understand German identity as well, Spanish identity as well, which makes you a very interesting person, and also be able to connect with the people with those identity, you know, German people, Spanish people, or Spanish-speaking people. Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, I spoke too much. I didn't make you speak. And lastly, do you have any wish for for our child to be in terms of a multilingual?
I think our girl Lila is very lucky to be to grow up in a trilingual environment. I think it will hopefully be really good for her development, and she will realize one day what a great advantage and opportunity it offers her to go out and explore the world. I think the Japanese is definitely the most complicated side, and that will be your side because we live in France, so she's immersed in French. We speak English amongst us, so English is the language spoken mostly in the household. So we really have to put a lot of effort on reinforcing Japanese because I think it's such a big part of her and her culture, and she has to understand that and hopefully learn the language.
So much pressure on my shoulders, but I feel already supported that you appreciate my culture, my roots, and so you want my our daughter to have to keep that identity.
Of course, that is who she is. Her history is who she is.
Yeah.
If we don't know our roots, who are we?
No. That's so true. Yeah.